Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Jay with the True Horror King Gary. We are discussing Impact, and Gary's going to need to give me a minute to shoot a little before we get into that. Let me start off with a very special welcome to our fan of the week, my father. Yeah, that might sound odd. I'm not going to lie, he doesn't watch Impact Wrestling, but he was contacted over the weekend by Crazy Kyle from Total Nonstop Impact, a.k.a. TNI. Yes, you heard that correctly. Kyle, a drunken podcaster, found and messaged my father like he was going to turn my own father against me. Now, my father responded, he's a retired professional who literally created something amazing for people with disabilities, worked with charities whole life, and it took him seconds to realize he was dealing with a clown. So after he very nicely abused Kyle and told him to get a life, this psycho went more psycho than I ever expected when he started cursing to my father and talking about doing disgusting sexual things with him and other things I can't say on YouTube. Now, this is the last time I will ever mention him because he is clearly a young, messed up person who needs help. But I did quickly cut out a part of our last conversation in case nobody believes how crazy he is.
Hey, you squatty-ass! What the is wrong with you? You must be some kind of...
I'm not even going to go on, but that's just a little tidbit. What's going on, Gary?
Not too much, Jay. I'd like to congratulate your dad for getting fan of the week. But you probably want me to get right at the ratings for this week.
Let's hear about the ratings, and why not pimp your channel?
Okay. We came in at number 142 for the week, which is good considering last week we didn't even place in the top 150. We had a 0.02 demo rating, and overall viewership was 111,000 viewers. And as for my channel, hop on over there anytime. I just dropped a brand new review for the movie. What was it called?
Come on, Gary. Well, you can see the link above, and it doesn't matter.
Well, it's kind of a different name. Not used to see The Unkind.
Yeah, he does horror.
From 2020.
Point is, he does horror movies. Check it out. The link is on the page there. And as you mentioned, ratings went up. I'm guessing the demo was the same, 0.3, or that. Actually, I think it was 0.2 last week, so that probably went up, right?
Yeah. Oh no, it stayed the same. I thought it had went up a little, but I guess it did. Yeah. But
whatever. Again, we own the goddamn
spoiler breaking up for this podcast tonight. I guess the BTI matches started with Raj Singh and a newcomer called Yuya Umera. I have no idea who that is.
Oh, is that actually happening at
Texas, right now at the
Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just so you guys know, we would never give spoilers, but we can mention matches that are taking place. And if you think that's a spoiler, then we apologize for that, and we'll move back to the end in the future. But it's matches. I don't think it's spoilers. I think, to me, spoilers are giving the winners, but whatever. I want to start with the Eddie promo after the Josh Vincent match because I thought it was super interesting. And I don't know if you or everyone caught this, but I thought there was a lot of truth to the Eddie with the wrestling business, how they want to listen. So I basically wrote his promo down, how they want to break wrestlers down into mindless grunts who will do whatever they tell us to do without ever questioning or standing up for themselves. Now, Gary, does that sound a lot like WWE and AAW, or am I reading too much into that?
Yeah, it definitely does. I like how Eddie is playing mind games with Josh here. It has me compelled, for the weeks ahead, what's going to go down there. So there should be some must-see TV. I don't know. It's almost like he's trying to get him on Honor No More. I don't know if that's the direction they might go. I have no idea.
And not just him. I mean, Vincent kind of talked about it before the show, or I'm not sure if that was a video from last week, but whatever. But I like their idea, but I don't think there's there's nothing about Josh that says he would even consider that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't really like that angle as the way to go after Josh.
Well, the thing is, it all boils down to the depth issue again with me, because it's outside, you take him and say you make him a heel, who really, other than maybe Sami Callihan or somebody like that, will have to step up into the Josh role. But then you're getting too many bad guys and not enough good guys on one side, you know?
Well, I love the shit out of this heel Eddie, and I mean his promo. I loved it so much. Like it made so much sense. Like like they're trying to like bury guys like us, and I felt like it was like make us all the same, which is kind of like what AEW is exactly doing. Like they hire stars and they turn them into regular guys, but whatever. That's how I saw it, and hysterically it ended with Keith. With Heath coming out of nowhere. I mean, I didn't even see this dude. He just like popped up.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I was cheering this because Josh just kind of smiled at him when he did the. I like to call it the Scorpion Death Drop because that's the way I see it. To me, he's like the jobber Sting almost. You know what I mean? Like he's always been that built. They've always built him to be this jobber.
Yeah, but I'm starting to buy it a little more. Like,
yeah, I definitely am too. Just because he's got and like he goes into the crowd, it still takes me back to the days in the Impact Zone in Orlando when DDP would run through the crowd and like kind of scale the metal barriers all the time and then run back to the crowd.
Yeah, he might actually be stealing this from DDP because that's a perfect example because he's also a very likable guy. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's not a small guy either. If you've seen him,
I was surprised.
He's pretty solid wrestler.
I was surprised because most everyone in WWE is like 6'6", and you know what I mean. So it's hard to tell.
A lot of it is like the stature of him. He looked in WWE, he looked a lot smaller, and then he comes over here and he's quite big. I think that same thing could be said for Matt Cardona too. I never really realized how big that dude was.
Yeah, my problem with him is I'm pretty sure he would go anywhere else in a heartbeat, WWE, AEW.
Yeah, and he's already mentioned he would. So
yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of guys like that. I just hope they can kind of figure out who's not. Guys like Eddie and Jordan, who I'm sure have had chances and turned them down. Like, there's no fucking way in hell they didn't ask, Jordan and whoever else on it. All the Impact girls who were just absolutely incredible. Ladies, sorry, didn't mean to call them girls. Got to mention here, I kind of enjoyed the match with Vincent and Josh. I don't know about you. Just because I don't see a lot of Vincent singles matches. But then again, I didn't like it was against Josh. And I know the story and I get it all, but I feel like he shouldn't be wrestling a guy like Vincent unless it's a squash.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of offense coming from Vincent, which I kind of get it too, because I've seen Vincent work in the ring and he's held his own against such wrestlers as Matt Taven and, just different guys of that stature like Jay Lethal.
Totally fair, but have we seen that on Impact?
No, totally not.
So, if you're a new Impact fan, you know what I mean? Like me, I haven't, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good rivalry, though. I kind of like it because you got the old ROH, and you got the guy that's, kind of like the psychopath, and then you got Josh that's kind of like the new age Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I just wish they kind of, let Vincent get a win or two here. I think this might have been his first singles match. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
There might have been one or two, but nothing of this, with this prominence, like facing a champion like Josh.
But I mean, I totally agree. I'm not bashing his talent at all.
No, I'm not either.
The booking heading up to the match. I mean, like you said,
he's very underrated.
Like you said, he's had great stuff in Ring of Honor that I haven't seen. He's a great character, but I just, whatever, little thing there. Sammy Macklin and Moose segment. I thought this was fun. Although I know you don't like the lack of, the barbed wire and.
I just don't like. I don't know It's just so hard to buy when you see, when I'm noticing things with the barbed wire, and it's like you don't really see the. I mean, I know you can't do that in wrestling today, and I don't know. It's just you can't go to that ECW route no more, but. I don't know. I just kind of miss that aspect of wrestling, and I kind of get why they do it, but
I would kind of. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's other kind of matches you can do where I would stay away from that just because of the reasons you said. Like what was that? Oh man, I forget that match they had. Like the what were those toys? The Legos in the ring, like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I've literally. I remember as a kid when we would.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And my cousin would throw army men on the floor.
Oh yeah, that'll kill you.
They do hurt.
that probably hurts more than the barbed wire they're using.
Oh yeah.
But they did make. So I'm guessing you're not too excited about the triple threat Victory Road barbed wire match that they announced.
Well, I am if it brings out who I think it could bring out. I have a good feeling it's going to be.
Go ahead. It's not a spoiler.
I think it's going to be Moxley. To be honest with you,
Wow.
just because
That's a,
Sabin was currently or this past week was on there. I wonder if it's like not a maybe. I mean, I know, and maybe in some people's aspect, a Sabin does not equal a Moxley, but I don't really agree with that. I'm a bigger Sabin fan.
Okay, but maybe Sabin and Shelley do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they were both on there. So
Right. Well, were they? I didn't know Shelley was on there.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sure if he was actually on there, but I know they have a match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, he will be on there.
But they get a package deal for. I mean, and then they have worked on the Indies before, weren't they? A tag team as well.
Him and Moxley.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea about that actually.
Yeah, I think they were called the Switchblade Brothers or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I had sorry, it threw me off there. I had no clue about Moxley at all or any thoughts about him, but yeah, that, I mean, God, if they started getting like an actual relationship with AEW where, I mean, you know, we bashed them a lot because we hated how the relationship went, you know, like Impact got totally screwed. I mean, other than, yeah, sure, Omega got some great buy rates and it was great for the company and all that, which is, like, I'm kind of laughing a little, but it was huge. Like, that's a huge, huge thing. But like, we all just wish it like kept going. You know, there was some Sammy Guevara bullshit and whatever else. And
yeah, it was definitely drop ball kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now let's get to the very good opening knockouts match, which I'm pretty sure was this 2 weeks in a row they've had an opening tag team knockouts match.
I want to say that it was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was one of the teams was in that, but I have a feeling there was. I want to say Vexed was in it last week, maybe too.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Either that or the X Division starting the show. I think it's
but the point is, there's more like another showcase of the women's tag team championship.
Yeah, and they've done a much better job than I thought. I mean, they're not that I thought. They've done a much better job than they were doing. I mean, they have Vexed, who is a hell of a goddamn tag team. I love the matching outfits. They're a great team, great look. I like to play on NXT because it's like not too much, you know, like they don't overdo it. Like, oh, we're from NXT, blah, 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 you know. It's just like they use the name Vexed, VXT in there. They're from NXT. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, I totally get why they're so excited. I know they went to creative. They got basically laughed out of the building about using this tag team idea.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and they never ran with it. And I think they honestly probably regret it at this point because they look like a couple of top-notch tag team champions so far.
I'm guessing they thought that would be like a step down for Deanna, who literally might be the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's such an overfilled roster in NXT down there. So
yeah, I mean, I think this is great. I mean, I love that Deanna kind of, I don't know if she dropped down, but yeah, she did.
Well, if you notice too, they kind of have the color scheme of NXT.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they kind of do.
That's cool too. That's cool too because it's not like hitting you over the face with it, you know, like, oh, we're from NXT, whatever. But really quick, Mia Yim, I mean, she's been fantastic. I'm like, she never wasn't great, but like she just slid right back in, and it's like she hasn't missed a beat.
Oh yeah, well, anytime I've seen Mia so far since she's been back in Impact, I mean, she's had me glued to the TV just because of some of the stuff that I forgot that she was able to do.
Yeah, she's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
And I have a little note here. Incredible gut wrench by Jordan. That was badass. Looked like she almost killed someone. Like she's just so crazy powerful. And VXT got the win.
Dedicated herself, definitely.
Yeah. In case we miss it, VXT got the win there. Sometimes we miss getting the winners.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then we get a package from Eric Young saying that they're reunited and pushed back and got a taste of the sweet taste of victory, but sugar isn't the sweetest. Their opponents want to call themselves Time Machine, but it doesn't matter whether they belong in the past, present, or future. Violent by design are anywhere and everywhere, and their time is up. And I
loved it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes Well, all the time EY is a bit vague, but I mean, I do like it. Like they're kind of like back together, like like they went through a little shit and now they're back together, which I really enjoyed. And EY is just such a, I mean,
Well,
he's
he's
just
a great heel.
uh,
I honestly think he's a better heel than he is as a face.
I mean, people can laugh. I honestly think he's one of the greatest of all time when it comes to the total package of like making people the ability to make people laugh and be a badass, which
Yeah,
I can
that's a fair point. Yeah,
I can maybe name like 10 people. To me, Kurt Angle was the greatest of all time and always will be in that when it comes
yeah.
to that. Like he was downright fucking hysterical and he was a murderer in the ring. But like to me, EY is up there. He's that goddamn good at everything. And okay, Carl Anderson defeated Mike Bennett, which kind of pissed me off because that means I'm not going to get to see Maria.
Oh yeah. Well, let's keep in fact and point that it says what I'm reading here. Doc Gallows helped him, so that's what it says. Carl Anderson with Doc Gallows help.
Oh, it's into the match here. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you weren't actually watching the match, Gary. Just like Rosemary.
I kind of tuned out a little bit during this. I don't know if it was that.
It's a Mike Bennett match. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Carl Anderson, but I thought the guys' styles were too similar with me.
Yeah, no. I mean, Carl's also not very. Let's say the sexiest wrestler, which kind of funny because I mentioned to my old Canadian friend back in the day, and he's like, "What the." You know what I mean? Like he did. I don't know if I guess it's like an American thing. You know what I mean by that, right?
Yeah.
Like sexy, as in like like I'm not saying he's sexy looking. I just mean like, well, it's an American thing. I'm sure people get what I'm saying. Like Carl Anderson versus Mike.
Well, if you kind of see pretty much you seen any one bald headed man, you pretty much see them all. There's not really much difference. You know what I mean?
I thought it was
heavy or whatever, but
I thought it was okay, and I was surprised by the ending, which I really like. I mean, that's one thing I hate about AEW. I can pick the winner of almost every match just by looking at the graphics, but this I had no idea. I mean, I really thought they would keep Maria at ringside, but I think they're totally setting up now for what the hell is his name, who said he was coming to the tapings this weekend, which they're probably having the match tonight, I believe. The OGK versus Gallows and Anderson for the titles, right?
Yeah, that's what it was mentioned, yeah.
And who am I thinking of? The person that said they were coming to Impact. Oh, man, from Ring of Honor.
Bandito?
No. Shane Taylor.
Oh, okay, yeah. STP, yeah.
Man, gotta mention my
production.
Gotta mention my boy Robles, who I kept forgetting his name, and he had to remind me earlier. One of the greatest fantasy bookers ever known. But yeah. So what do you think about that? I'm not sure.
Well, with STP coming in?
And who exactly is STP?
Shane Taylor. He used to tag team.
No, okay. I know Shane Taylor, but like, does he have a group like Shane Taylor Productions? Is that a bunch of guys?
It was kind of bit of a like a faction. They had I can't remember the names of the other two guys, but they were kind of like a roughneck version of Harlem Heat.
Okay, I'm just curious if like other guys
were coming. They were all in house, and Shane Taylor a long time ago used to tag team with Keith Lee.
Oh, interesting.
So
two big dudes.
He was quite a bit bigger at the time too. So he's actually kind of lost some weight since those days. So
I didn't see much of Taylor until like right at the end of Ring of Honor, where I felt they were pushing him a lot. And man, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a very underrated wrestler too, because like he isn't like one of these wrestlers that's built from head to toe, and you look at him and you don't think he can pull up. He's kind of like a Samoa Joe, but just a little bit more agile.
Yeah, maybe even a little bigger, muscular. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what I've seen. So there was a backstage segment with Raj Singh and sorry, just passed out there. I don't know what the hell's going on with these guys, to be honest. I mean, like I just don't know. I don't know. I don't care. Like I don't mean it in a mean way. I just I don't know what's going on with them from week to week.
Well, he was saying something about I think he was saying something to us, the fan out there, that basically Josh beating Shira, he really wasn't 100% or something like that, and
Oh Jesus.
I don't know. That's why I wish we had Roman back. 'Cause I would have paired him with Bhupinder.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna forget I heard that and hope there's no rematch between Josh and Shira anytime soon. Really nice Masha video. I mean, this is just Gotta jump back quick to Heath. Like, if you would have told me a year ago or whatever that I would have bought Heath as even like a mid card guy, and I'm starting to buy him as a top guy is incredible. And what they've done with Masha is even more incredible because she was a totally unknown name. They've done a perfect job of Goldberging her up, and I think it's clear she's going to be Jordan at BFG.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Just because you're looking at BFG, that's a couple months away. You're looking at another couple month reign for her. Per se, usually the women's division, you don't see too many awfully long reigns in Impact, just as a historical fact.
Recently, kind of with Taya and the Virtuoso.
Yeah,
but yeah, other than that, yeah, there's a bunch that kind of
there's a lot of transitional champions a lot in Impact. I feel like nobody really gets that super long reign just because I think they feel like that those days are kind of past. You know, like you're going to get a Hulk Hogan reign that lasts 3 years, or know.
I mean, also look at Tessa Blanchard. I mean, they pushed her to the moon, and look what she did. So I mean, you got I'm sure they got to worry about all kinds of shit like that, you know. So yeah, I mean, also I just want to mention, like, to me, this is her Goldberg Hogan match where Masha cannot lose the match. Like, it has to be at the very least, it would have to be a DQ. But I think she's going to be winning it. Also, where the hell is Tasha? Was she not on the show?
No, she's most definitely on the show.
Okay.
She's talking crap about Killer Kelly backstage. What'd she call her? I want to say she called her another cool killer name this week. Okay. She called her I want to say Dexter. Okay. You know, like from the show from Showtime.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And then she got her to some like clutch thing. I can't remember what they call it. The killer clutch, I think it's called. And she's choking her out. And then she was like, she wished she wouldn't have talked shit about Killer Kelly.
Oh, she was choking out Tasha on last night's show.
Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah, came from behind her and kind of put this clutch on
it. How the hell did I miss this? Well, I guess it was after the Anderson match where I was kind of coming down a bit, and right before the Hotch Bhupinder match, which go ahead, take it.
Well, with the Jason Hotch, I mean, I know he was signed to a talent deal and everything, but the man looks like $1 million in the ring. I just don't know if he's kind of getting a John Skyler treatment right now. I mean, I know he's young.
Yeah.
But I just don't like the direction so far they're going with him, because I would have made it a little bit more like competitive, just because Bhupinder is kind of green himself.
Yeah. No.
Totally. I don't know.
They're kind of Shira-ing Bhupinder, where they're kind of like shoving him, I think, down people's throats by letting him destroy people who he doesn't deserve to destroy anyone. No offense. You know what I mean? Like, he's a jobber.
But I have enjoyed the Brian Myers and Bhupinder.
Yeah, I mean, that's been fun. But I mean, does anybody think Bhupinder has a chance? I mean,
no.
Unless they're just going to do it because, like, they have these, the Indian connections. But also, I don't believe that Indian fans just like Indian wrestlers, and I could be totally wrong about that. But
honestly, I think if Bhupinder were to get the win over Brian Myers, I think it'd be courtesy of something like an outside interference, like some fluke kind of thing or whatever. I don't think he's going to pin him outright, count him in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3 without, some interference.
Here's one way they could make Bhupinder defeat him, and I will not be angry. You bring back the man to do it, Rohit Raju, who should have never left in the first place.
No, I think that would be a pretty gosh darn good faction right there. You got Bhupinder.
Oh yeah, I mean he's
like Rohit, then Stitch. What's his name? I'm sorry. He just has a terrible look to me. No matter how they've packaged him, it's been worse than Shira.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And No, I mean I don't want to bash the guy, but I'm with you. And
No, I totally don't want to either. I don't know enough about him. I don't even really know
yeah, to
him.
me, I'm sure he's trying really hard and all that, but it's like I don't know, like I kind of wish they had like a what was that thing they had back? Oh, I'm thinking of I'm thinking it's a WCW Power Plant. Sorry, I'm way
Sorry
off.
about the interference.
Oh, that's all right. I was thinking about. I'm talking WCW here, so don't worry about me. Jessica debuted, which was a lot more fun than I expected. I don't know about you.
Jessica? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in. I don't mind the character. I just thought this match was really skippable for me. I don't know. I felt like it wasn't Alicia's fault at all. I just felt like a lot of the moves were just like her like the two of them standing back and like not really locking up. It just kind of felt like I would
Kind of
have
like
rather
waiting,
had a promo or something.
kind of
Or
like waiting for moves to happen.
yeah, like I kind of felt like it was a little hokey on TV. It just made it look more cinematic, like you know what I mean, like it's all staged a little bit too much, and I don't know, it just didn't give off a very good presentation for me.
I will say Jessica looked like she was having a blast, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
fans liked her. But I also have to point out that Rosemary was a manager or cheerleader
yeah, that
here
didn't help. That kind of thing didn't help.
after losing 2 pre-show matches. So that's very sad to me as a former huge fan. But life is sad sometimes. Um, Main event was another really great match. I mean, maybe the match of the night. I noticed this easily got the loudest chants, and deservedly so, probably. You think this was the match of the night?
Oh, most definitely. I just felt like they were all on the same page. And I don't know if you noticed. I didn't ever notice it before, but I noticed Kushida and Sabin wear like the same style of like the cut off pants that are kind of like knee high.
People can make fun of me, but I have honestly never seen a Kushida match before he joined Impact.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that either. I've never seen until I seen him a little bit in ROH. I hadn't really seen much of Kushida. I'm very impressed.
He's fantastic. Holy shit.
If he could come to Impact, I'd be more than happy.
Now you know the schedule better than I do. Okay, yeah, obviously because of Texas. This was the last taping of wherever they were.
Oh yeah, this was the last episode that
Okay.
this last night.
So the crowd was kind of dead for most of the show except for the final
Chicago.
match.
I don't know. It felt like overkill maybe for them. I don't know if it's because they were so burnt out from what was it, the show the night before Emergence. And I just kind of felt like they were a little dead. I noticed like the wrestlers trying to get the fans into it, but yeah, it was a filled house, but I just kind of felt like they were kind of like crickets at times.
Very oddly quiet most of the show, and then the main event, like I noticed, like they were so loud, and I was like, "Shit, wow! Like where was this all show? Like did they add fans?"
We got an Impact Wrestling chant during the main event, and I don't think that happened anywhere else in the show.
Also, how many companies get chants like that?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear WWE chants? I mean, I'm sure AEW probably, but I don't know.
I haven't probably watched that program in 15 years, probably.
Yeah, you're a smart man. I got to mention, I liked how much Doran we got to see here. No offense to Diener, who's solid as hell and an incredible human, but Big Joe is just a blast. His look, moveset, like he's like the epitome of a pro wrestling character.
Well, I didn't know if you noticed some fans in attendance were saying you suck, and I'm like, what?
To Joe?
Yeah.
Well, that better have been in like a heel way.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't see, you know what I mean? I don't see how anything. I mean, especially he's got to be pushing 40.
Oh, I actually thought he was older than that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I just to be that big and move like he does, I like this match. I know a lot of people complained about the Alexander and Doring match because they said it was kind of slow paced, but I really thought it was actually one of Josh Alexander's one of his toughest tests to date.
I think a lot of people are kind of like, I don't know, kind of stuck in like the AEW mode where everything has to be, like a certain way, and like kind of a big guy versus big guy match like that. Like a lot of people don't like because they don't see it a lot. Like there's not many big guys like that. Like Josh and Joe are two big ass dudes. Like, I really like that match. I don't know. I don't know how anyone complain about Joe. That's batshit crazy. Sadly, in the end, the three evil bastards triple team poor Joe and got the win. Which, my God, talk about evil.
Yeah.
Not even two of them, three of them. Come on. But I mean, like to me, that was awesome for Joe, though. You know, like it took three of them to hit a finishing move on him. Like that, even that, like helps him become more of a monster. Like you could show shit like that. Like this is how you got to beat Joe Doring.
Did you? I think didn't you say 411 gave it a 7.8 last night too? By the way,
7.8. We might as well give grades since we always forget.
go ahead, Jay.
Ooh, I'm gonna lead off. Okay, I like this one. I'm pretty sure more than you, but God, the more we talked about it, you kind of talked me into disliking certain things. And
I don't know. Some of it was just.
I'm not sure how much to remove from the Boopinder stuff that I just don't really care. But I got to give it an 8.1 just because it had enough to make me laugh and smile, and like the whole Heath and Eddie thing. Like I love that. That was one of my favorite segments of the year.
Yeah, I have to go between. This time I have to go a little bit below what 411 gave it. I'm going to give it about a 7.6.
Whoa.
Not quite an 8, but not a 7. So,
well, guess what, everyone? Gary has just been fired for being an Impact hater. Just kidding. I just do want to mention. I noticed a really cool NJPW on Axis graphic. I don't know if I know they've been doing like stuff like that, but I don't know if it was a new graphic or something. Did you notice that last night?
No. What did you say though?
New Japan. It was like an Axis. They were like promoting. They were promoting the following show. You know.
Yeah, they do that every week, but I mean they might have changed it. I didn't really know. At least this week we didn't get any. We didn't get any ads that I could see from St. Jude. So.
Oh yeah, nothing weird. Yeah, nothing weird like that I saw either. But yeah,
not that that's a bad thing, but I think some people.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, some people were. Yeah, some people were complaining about not wanting to see.
Kind of weird how somebody complained about it. I don't think I even seen one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a messed up thing to complain about, but I do get the whole sadness while you're trying to watch something fun and really quick.
A really cool show that's coming on there. I don't know if I wrote it down or not. It was coming on Access. It's like music artist.
Yeah.
Kind of like behind the scenes of their career. Look really cool. It's kind of like a what's that show? Unsolved Mysteries kind of thing, but with artists that's on Access TV. I think it debuted on the 24th on there. It looked really cool.
Gotta be honest, they got a lot of weird shit on Access.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Music and wrestling. I feel like they kind of need to focus on one or become a rock and wrestling channel and make a new rock and wrestling thing with Impact wrestlers. But
it was reported that they want to try and become like an MTV. I know that.
Could be interesting, I guess. Want to quickly mention what's happening tonight at Lone Star Stampede. Mickey James is making an announcement. Deanna versus Masha. Good Brothers versus Taven and Bennett for the world titles. And the Aussie Open, which I had no effing idea about. Aren't these the guys who were just on AEW against the Motor City Machine Guns? That's interesting. Totally missed that goddamn match. Jesus. These are the Aussie Open guys that aren't Will Ospreay, so I don't know their names, and they were on AEW last night, and I was like, who the F are these guys? But they were really good and put on.
No, that's what I mean. Like, when you got this talent that's coming from, like, New Japan, like, unless you're somebody like our good friend Bloodbrain who knows the roster in and out, we're done. I mean, that's how we get to know them. That's kind of how I kind of wish we could have got Finjuice as a team to come in. I think they'd be a good replacement. Say if we can't keep the Good Brothers, I would be more than happy to trade out Finjuice for the Good Brothers.
Yeah, they were. We had them for a bit. They were fun. I
love their theme too. My son rocks out to it every time I used to play it for him.
I mean, I think there's a lot of options out there they can pick up for the tag division if they want to, focus more on that. Like, where the hell are the Beer City Bruisers at?
I do know Brian Malonis and Beer City Bruiser. Last I heard they were down. I guess you could say down south, but like kind of central south, in Tennessee and NWA, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of working with them, so who knows? And we're going to try and keep this under 40 minutes, which we have. So I think that's about it, unless you got anything.
No, I just got to say, keep an eye on both our channels. I try to drop content at the beginning of the week, and Jay at the end kind of gives a chance to plug both our channels to get the views in.
He's dropping all kinds of content, so you got to keep up with him.
Yeah, I'm on the cusp of starting a second deal with another old contented DVD company. I'm not sure what's going on with it yet. He hasn't gotten back to me, but I'm pretty safe bet to say that I'm probably going to be doing reviews for them as well. So
this man gets sent movies to do reviews for. All I ever wanted was a goddamn free way to watch Impact Wrestling. And that's what's wrong with the wrestling business. Like, we should be getting things where we don't have to pay for pay-per-views and shit, and that's why we cover them. And like, the wrestling business is too stupid to realize things like that, and that's why the movie business makes a lot of money and the wrestling business doesn't. Just one of a billion reasons.
So be watching for that in the coming weeks. Bayview Entertainment, that's the company.
Also, in the next year or so, I am going to do whatever possible to get Gary to review the movie Sharknado after watching it for the 15th time recently, and it's the most amazing movie I think I've ever seen, based on all of the terribleness in every possible way.
Well, there's a companion movie to that too, Zombie Tidal Wave.
Oh God! Well, don't get me started. I actually watched Piranha.
Twisters and zombies are being thrown about the city, and they're landing, and then they're like coming out of the water. It's actually pretty cool, though, considering that the budget constraints I have. But
I don't know. I don't know if you saw my watch. I don't know if you happened to see my tweet yesterday, but I watched Piranha for the first time.
Oh, the original.
Have you ever seen that? It was one of the amount of blood and. The amount of blood and nudity was so incredibly
you're
shocking.
talking about the reboot.
Yeah, with yeah. Oh, the
Bing Rain.
Jesus, is everything a reboot now?
Yeah, well, I'm used to the Roger. I believe it's Roger Corman that made the original Piranha.
I didn't even know it was an original, but Jesus, that one was just wacky.
Yeah. When I seen that with my wife, it was just really uncomfortable to watch. I mean, like all these breast implanted women running around.
There was so much nudity; it was insane.
Well, they have a sequel. It's Piranha Double D.
I'm a single. So they're like leaning into it. Oh wow.
Oh yeah. It's soft. Okay. It's kind of what you'd almost call softcore porn, if you will.
Wow, softcore horror porn. Well, guess what? Maybe this will be a new segment where the last 2 minutes we talk about horror stuff. Let us know in the comment section if you give a shit. And that's it. We'll be back soon. As always, keep it positive, at least when it comes to Impact.
Have a good night, everybody.